You want to know if the RP Hypertrophy app is worth the price of admission. Today, I'm going to cover many things, starting with user interface, program variety and quality, customization, cool features and tools, price, updating and support, my suggestions for a few new features, and stick around to the end for my overall rating. Let's get to it. The user interface is minimalistic and uncluttered, and so it leaves you not confused about how to use it. It's very simple, it is straightforward, and that is just what I am looking for whenever I think about user interfaces. I think where other apps go wrong, I think people look to make something look pretty and ignore functionality. This app is, again, minimalistic. It's got their trademark signature, red, black, dark gray colors, and it is usable. You have no questions about really how to engage with the app. It is straightforward, and that is just what I want in a training app, especially when the reason I'm buying a training app is because I want to offload some of my cognitive burden to something that is more efficient and effective than I am. So why would I want something cluttered and complicated to be engaging with? Like, it doesn't make sense. This app makes sense. The user interface is clean, it's clear, direct, and one of the highest rated things I have to say. Let's get into content quality and variety. First of all, in the custom training splits, there is a huge variety of training splits ranging from 6-day a week, 5-day a week, 4-day a week, 3-day a week, 2-day a week training splits, ranging from, so you have your total body splits, body part emphasis splits, upper lower emphasis splits, and additionally, they are here for the people, so they even have like superhero splits, which you can take a look at. So overall, the amount of training splits, the quality of training splits, the ability to split your training splits into various frequencies is a really great feature of this app. I think one of the things about the custom training splits is that you can customize it even further. So if you find your workouts to be too long or too short, if the volume isn't enough overall by the end of, let's say, a mesocycle, and you feel like you can fit in more volume into a particular training split, you can copy that training split and turn it into another custom split of your own, and you can add or subtract exercise as you need. And then the app's AI will sort of auto-regulate your training progressions from there. So it's really cool. So you can really, truly customize all these various training splits to yourself. And if you're new to using this app, each exercise comes with a custom video highlighted by dulcet tones from Dr. Mike to describe how you should perform each exercise. So on top of the training splits, on top of everything that you get here, you also get instruction on how to perform exercises efficiently, effectively, and safely. Customization and personalization, probably the top end feature of why anybody should try this app. I think one of the reasons that a person would purchase this app, honestly, one of the reasons I purchased this app, although I love exercise science and putting together programs and modifying my own volumes and listening to my body, I really want something that can just do that for me. I am not a professional in this space, although I do coach people. I don't have an advanced degree. I don't count on it as the main source of my income. It is something that I love and am passionate about and could do myself. However, the AI in the app, its ability to modulate your training volumes is so effective and so easy and straightforward that you can be reassured that you are having the most scientifically backed workout possible. So the auto-regulation of volumes is based on a number of things. The app modifies your current weekly volume based on your past performance for that particular body part. Additionally, the app's ability to keep you within a rep range is really impressive in that it looks to add weight, so whether that's 2.5 or 5 pounds. However, if it knows that adding weight will take you outside of a certain rep range, or adding weight in a particular rep range isn't feasible, it will then add reps and look to progress that way. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. And I think with particular exercises like dumbbell flies or various things that are in the higher end rep range, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, where we would question, like, do I need to go up in weight here? It does all that automatically for you, which is really great because you don't have to think about it at that point and you're just sort of on autopilot, which I think this is what we're shooting for. Things the app takes into account, it takes into account your pumps, your soreness, and perceived workloads. You'll rate some indicators immediately post-workout, and then you'll rate the other indicators on your next workout for that body part. Plus, you have the ability to override the app. If you feel like it added too much weight, it didn't add enough weight, if you feel like adding reps, because, it works within sort of the 3 to 0 reps in reserve range. If you feel like for a particular weight that week, you are feeling extremely good, and what the app projects for you as being your 3 RIR reps, you can overshoot that and get to the actual reps. That leaves you with 3 reps in reserve. So as far as customization and personalization, I feel like the most powerful tool in this is the app's ability to auto-regulate your volumes for you, which makes this a very powerful tool in your arsenal and allows you to not think as much as you previously would need to, while also outsource it to something that is going to get you effective muscle gains. Cost. For me, which I highly recommend this for you all, if you can catch it on a sale, I paid full price for an entire year, which gives you the best month-to-month price overall. I paid $250 or $249.99 for the app for an entire year, which I think is a tremendous value. You're looking at like $20 a month, when personal training is going to run you $40 to $100 a session, depending on where you live. So it is an insane value. Even if you were to just go by the built-in training programs, that is infinitely worth more than $20 a month. You save so much by paying in full for the app. That is what I highly recommend people do. There are, however, monthly versions, and I believe even 3 and 6 month version subscriptions that you can take advantage of. Right now, after looking at the app, current prices for paid in full are $299, which, when you think about that, that's a pretty sweet deal as well. Not very far off from where I'm at. That leaves you at about $25 a month, still well worth the price of admission. They also have 6 months for $199, and then they have a monthly subscription plan for $34.99, so you can even just try it that way. Customer support and feedback. I haven't really had to use customer support and feedback, but it is very useful. As I said before, the user interface is very simple, and one of the first screens that you'll see on the app has a list of all your mesocycles, your current workouts and progressions, custom exercises, training, various things like that. And it also has customer support. So it's really easy to shoot off a message to customer support should you have a question, or should you have a suggestion for an app feature. Speaking of my suggestions for an app feature, because not all this is going to be a love fest, even though I'm rocking my Team Full Zom shirt, I do have some suggestions for new features that I feel like would turn the app up a bit, and to me at least, make it a little bit better. The one thing that I would really like to see as far as the app goes is the ability to, once you're in a meso, to extend that meso by a week. Now, I haven't found the ability to do this, so if it's on there, please someone point me towards it. However, once you have built out a sort of custom mesocycle and you set it to 5 weeks total, 4-week accumulation, 1-week deload, I would really love to see a feature where you can, at the end of the last week before your deload, you can hit one button and choose to extend it by a week. Then the app sort of auto-regulates your volumes after that. You repeat your last week of 0 RIR and you extend your meso by a week. Why do I want this? I think the reason I want this is, let's say we are in a gaining phase and we are feeling really, really good. We pushed, we got to 0 RIR or as close as we could. However, in the rest period or the rest day afterwards, we feel like we could keep going. However, we deload. I think, if you're watching the RP channel, if you watch Dr. Mike, why would you stop then? So I don't understand why it's not built into the app to go ahead and allow you to extend a meso by just a single week. If the fatigue indicators, or if your fatigue indicators are indicating that you could go for another week, that only makes sense. Now, in terms of like long-term progression and building this into a macro cycle, I'm not really thinking in that respect, but why wouldn't you be able to just extend by a week? That's probably my top feature that I would like to see the app add, the ability to extend a meso by 1 week. This might be me being nitpicky, but I would like to see overall body part, mean and mode volumes for the past 3, 6, and 12 months. Why do I want this? So as of right now, the app does a great job of allowing you to see your intra-mesocycle volumes. So at the end of a week, It allows you, and at the end of a mesocycle, it allows you to see how you progressed in volumes in a particular body part. So if you're looking like something like back, it allows you to track your volume. So like, let's say in week 1, you began with 4 sets of back, and then in week 2, you progressed to 6 to 8 sets, week 3, 8 to 10, week 4, 10 to 12. It shows you that progression at the very end of a mesocycle, and I believe from week to week. That is very cool and very helpful. However, thinking about total volumes per particular body parts, I think taking a step back from the mesocycle and having another tab under custom exercise be body part volumes. If you had something like that, you could look at your past 3, 6, and 12-month volumes for particular body parts and see if you have really been ramping up volumes on body parts you've been trying to grow. It's really helpful to look at it inside of a mesocycle, but I find that too sort of acute, and I want a broader perspective on my averages for the volumes that I've given to particular body parts. Because I feel like that would inform decision making as far as like, this is where I need to start at this mesocycle, and I haven't been ramping up volume as much as I could. And then maybe this also allows you to go, well, shit, maybe I need to put more body parts on the back burner just so that I can bring something up a little bit more. And I think the only real way you do that is by having a consistent measure of the volumes you've been placing on, your chest, your back, your arms, your shoulders, whatever you need to bring up. Another feature I would like to see is the ability to factor in if you are in a deficit, maintenance, or surplus amount of calories to aid the calculation of volumes from week to week, or the increases in those volumes from week to week. This would be dope for a number of reasons, but mainly, I think this would be a really nice way to expose the AI algorithm to a training variable before you get started with a mesocycle. Initially, if you are in a cut or a deficit, it might choose to ramp up volumes and then begin sort of tapering that a little bit harder. In a surplus, it may preferentially focus on load, whereas in a deficit, it possibly could focus on reps and adding volume that way. So that's something for the folks over at RP. Like, so how would you balance that surplus versus deficit and the increase in training volumes? Something to consider, because if you're in a deficit and the length of the deficit sort of informs almost the exponential rise in fatigue, it's important to have balance there. And I think it would be useful information if it could be quantified into this training app. Something else that I just thought of is if you're on a mini cut or something like that, and it's sort of a TIA mini cut, if you plug that into the app, then it knows, all right, let's ramp up volumes, let's do all the things we can, because immediately post this, we are going into a recovery period, resensitization phase, or, if it's a TIA mini cut and you're just, wanting to look good, it may preferentially ramp up volumes in a bit more aggressive manner, just because it knows you are trying to get somewhere in a particular amount of time. All right, my overall rating and recommendation. So I'm going to give you a range, 1 out of 10 scale. I'm going to give it an 8.5 to 12 out of 10, depending on who you are and depending on how much freedom you want in your programming, and depending on if you are a person who likes a bodybuilding hypertrophy style training. Now, it's on the 8.5 end if you want to train, and however, your focus isn't really hypertrophy, although I don't know why you would purchase this app in the first place then. So really, I think there are some features that could be added that would make it a bit more useful to myself, like the extending the meso by the week, the ability to factor in whether you're in a deficit, maintenance, or surplus, and then the ability to look at overall body part volume averages and modes. I think those things, if added, would bring it up to just like a 13 or 14 out of 10. This is an excellent app, especially if you have optimized all the other variables in your training, or you feel like you're not optimizing the other variables in your training. Adding this app into your programming will allow you to train better. It will allow you to focus on other areas that may not be your strength. If you have not focused on nutrition, this sort of allowing this app to handle your training for you gives you the opportunity to focus on other deficits that may be in your training, it might allow you to shift your focus and spend more time with your friends and your family. It may allow you to shift and spend more time in your business. It allows you to reliably offload and trust something that is science-backed and giving you the training that you need. And for those of you who've stuck around, there is a secret feature that I don't think anyone knew about. To power this app, and it takes a ton of power to power this app, it taps into the gravity well that is Kyriakos Grizzly. Yes, to power its functions, it needs to tap into the power of a god, and so it does, and so we are grateful. Praise be to Kyriakos Grizzly for supplying the AI with the lifeblood that it needs, because otherwise it probably would just drink our own blood. Alrighty, get out there, buy this app, do a test run on this app, catch it when it's on sale, stay constantly updated, which is something I didn't mention, and outsource your training to something that is going to get you some of the best gains of your life. And then check out this next video, and I'll see you all there.